No one wants to leave a thrift store empty-handed, at least I don't. And I was getting so disappointed that every single time I went to this particular Goodwill lately, I was just walking out either with one thing or empty-handed. Today was an amazing trip. I found a few things for myself, and I also found a number of things to resell on Poshmark and eBay. Hey everybody, my name is Anita. I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and eBay. I have a whole bunch of shoes and a whole bunch of clothes to show you. And this is mainly one trip, but then a couple of other cumulative trips that are on this rack right here. I'm so excited because I actually have been having some luck lately. First of all, found 4 or 5 items for myself. This is one of the items. Not only got this sweater, it is hand knit and it just needed some deep pilling. This sweater and a couple other things, but all this is from this sweater. This is one of the best investments if you're somebody who wants to keep your clothes for a long time, or if you're a reseller. I think this was $12.99. First, this was from another Goodwill, but it was very recent. And this is a Baltic born. It's not anything super pricey. I think this retailed, oh, it doesn't have the price on here, but I did look it up. I think it was $59, and it's called the Charlotte Tie Blouse in black and cream. And this I got for $5.99. I'm going to a special education conference for my full-time job. I need some things that I can wear either with jeans or nice pants. And so this fit the bill for that. It actually was modeled with jeans online. $5.99 brand new with tags. I will absolutely take that. This is also one for me, and this is a summery dress. I will not be able to wear it for a few months, but you can see that it's new with tags. I think this is an Anthropologie name. What is it called? Jace or Joss, I'm not sure. But this was obviously at TJ Maxx, but it also still has the original tag on it. So when I try it on, if I don't like how it fits, I can resell it. This was one of the more exciting thrift trips for shoes. The shoes, I feel like there was a girl who must have dropped off her entire collection, because 7.5 and 7 were the sizes that I found the most, but also similar styles. I did find one pair for myself. These were for the trip also, and they were $6.99. I don't think they were worn because that tag on the inside's not worn down at all. And I had just gotten these recently, these sneaker cleanup wipes, and these work fantastically. They were only $4 at TJ Maxx, and so those will get cleaned up. Moving on to the ones that I am reselling, I am very picky when it comes to purchasing shoes because, first of all, I don't want to get any with scratches or anything like that. I want it to be something that if the person's purchasing it, they're going to be confident that they got a quality piece of something for their closet that they can wear regularly or for a special event. This first pair surprised me. This is a Sperry. They're Sperry. I don't sell Sperry's, I'll be honest with you. Sperry's are not ones that I even usually pick up, but loafers are something that I see a lot on Pinterest. They are something that I see go for sale a lot on Poshmark. And so I was looking, and they wanted $7.99 for these, which I didn't think was bad at all. These are 8s, and so I will probably start them right around $50 and see what I can get. I think these can go right into spring, depending on where you live, maybe even the beginning of summer if you live in a colder area. The next pair I found was a pair of Donald Pleiners. These are the Ophelia sandal, and I just thought they were so pretty, a little more of a mature style, but pretty much not worn. They were worn at least a few times. There is definitely wear there, but minimal wear overall. These are These were $6.99. That's what Goodwill wanted for them. These are very pricey, brand new. And so they were selling very, very well on both Poshmark and eBay. I just thought these were great because the silver ones tended to sell for a little bit more, it looked like overall. And these had almost no wear. So these were a great purchase. And one of two pairs of sandals that I found. When I tell you, I went through 15 maybe pairs of shoes in this cart. It was insane. I looked through some vintage shoes. There were some LEI vintage shoes, some Nine West vintage. There were, newer shoes. There was another pair of Donald Pliner, brand new with tags, sandals. They were adorable. If they were my size, I would have bought them, but they were a 5. And unless there's comps that are blowing out through the roof, I can't do it. I think size 5s sit like luggage. And if I'm honest, anything 7 or above is what I get now. I really avoid 6s, even 6.5 and lower, because they just don't move quickly enough. Stay tuned for the crazy pair of sandals that you will see, I think, next. Yes. So are a great work option for a lot of people, just comfort shoes. They are Clark's Unstructured, and these were $6.99. And they have, again, minimal wear, which is really what I look for. I look at the heels, I look at the toes, I look at the bottom, I look at the footbed to make sure that these are worth it for somebody to purchase. And there was a pair that just sold, I think it said March 7th, in the same size, patent leather black, for $46 and change. So this was definitely a good purchase. When I went shopping on this particular day, it was so crowded. They kept bringing out all these new carts of shoes, and I was like, I don't want to be that person to dart over there. So let me finish looking at the dresses, because all these other people were beelining it for the shoes area. I was like, Anita, if it's meant to be, it will be. Take a deep breath. And I'm so glad I waited to go over, because the last cart to come out was this crazy amount of size 7.5 shoes. And I left back 2 pairs of Sorels that did not have good comps, and they were in pretty great condition. They needed a little bit of help, but they were in pretty great condition. If they had had great comps, I would have gotten them, but it looks like Sorels are not doing as well on Poshmark and eBay. They would have been a great personal pickup. I did find these, and these are so cute. Look at these. Purple, and they are Bed Stus. This is literally the first time that I have found Bed Stus in the thrift store. Bed Stus are quite pricey, brand new, and people look for them. I think they look for boots and shoes more so than sandals, but in any case, I was very excited to find these, not just because they're Bed Stus, but look at the condition. I'm going to see, there's just a little mark right here. I'm going to see if I can use those shoe cleaners to get it out. But other than that, look at this. And they only wanted $7.99 for these, and they are so much fun. These are called the Carol Flatform Sandal. They have like that zipper look in the back. I think these are so much fun. There was a pair of these that sold for $79, another pair for $90. So these are definitely a great pickup. I can't wait to list these. I'm gonna try, I think, close to $90 and see what happens. I felt like this particular sweater just screamed free people, or so many aesthetics that this fits. And I absolutely love all the different shades of pink paired with the cream. It's so, so beautiful. And I don't know what brand this is. I'm quite sure it's vintage. This is the tag that was in here. It's not a name brand tag, but it says like 90% wool, 10% mohair. I think this might be vintage, but I love the open knit. They wanted $5.99 at the thrift, so I think this is gonna sell really well. I think I might start it between $50 and $60 because it is so, so dang cute, on trend. Pinterest worthy, just all of the things. Next one's a more mature and very preppy style. This is a Ralph Lauren, Ralph Lauren, and this screams preppy. I got it because sweaters like this sell very well for me. Plus, it's a plus size. What is it, 3X? Yes, it is a 3X. And plus sizes sell very well for me. There was one, and it was the black label, but it sold for $45, almost very, very similar, almost the same, slightly different colors. And so this was $5.99. So this was one that I felt could go into spring and moving. This could even be worn at night on a cool summer night, like bonfire night kind of thing. This is very coastal and preppy, and I just absolutely loved it. This next one retails for over $200. It is a new brand name for me, and I just was so excited to find it because these white eyelet dresses, when I come across them at the thrift, I am telling you, 9 times out of 10, they have a stain, a rip, somebody spilled their coffee on it, whatever. But this was not that case, and I don't know if you can read it, but it is Melissa Odabash, I think is how you say it. It is a smaller size. It's a small. But this dress was so stinking cute. I'll see if I can pop up a picture. So charming. And I thought, you know, some girls are looking for white dresses to wear for high school graduation. A lot of people are looking for this particular style. This was, you can see my steamer ruined the tag, but this is going to come off anyway. They wanted $6.99 for this, which I was happy to pay, and comps were amazing. The next one is so stinking cute. I absolutely love this. This is an extra large, which is why I got it. Was $5.99, and I would not normally typically pick up blouses for $5.99. I would try to get them at the bins or half off, but I typically will not spend $5.99 anymore unless I think it's worth it. And I think this one's worth it. I don't think the name brand is going to pull it as much as the style is, but also it looked new without tags. It is Maison d'Amélie is how you say it, I think. I don't know if I said that correctly. And it is polka dotted, spotted. It is smocked here. It is ruffled at the neck. It is pleated here. I just think it has so much going for it. I have sold this name brand on eBay. It sells fairly well, but it has to be the right piece. This next one is not a brand name I know, but the style I know, and these dresses sell well for me. I sold one last year for $120. And the comps are not that good anymore, but they're still pretty great. So this was from, I've already photographed this one, so the tag's not on it, but it was $6.99. And Brillante by J.A., and it's a large, and it's 100% silk, plus the beading and the sequins. And this is a flapper style dress. I just think for mother of the bride, mother of the groom, a nice formal event. It's obviously a more mature style. This is a vintage 80s or 90s, something like that. I think I priced it at $60 or $65. This was a style-based pickup. The brand name is nothing to, you know, be excited about. This is, you can see by the tag it's vintage because it's got like that yellowish kind of thing going on. But I thought that this blazer screamed academia, screamed a lot of Pinterest boards that I've seen, and I just absolutely thought it was so, so cute. It is a size 20, which is part of the reason I got it. It is a plus size. The only downside was the fact that I didn't realize the sleeves were altered. So you can see they've been altered here, and this should have been on the outside, or was originally, I should say, but I measured the sleeve length and I don't think that's going to be a huge game changer. I will mark it as vintage, or I did mark it as vintage because it's already listed, and I can't wait to see how it performs because I've never sold a vintage blazer that looks like this. Another vintage piece, and this one I thought was super cool, 1980s. It was screaming 1980s to me. It is not a brand that I knew, Bonnie and Bill, but I thought this was super cool. I've really gotten into selling vintage. I don't want to ever put my closet 100% vintage, nothing like that. But I will say that I enjoy finding random pieces that are vintage. Vintage was my best category for 2024. It sold the most out of every kind of category on Poshmark and eBay. I was floored. I had no idea that that would happen for me. So I do look for it. I think I marked this at 35 or 40. The next one, the style and the brand name had great comps. This is Lovers and Friends. It's the first time I have found Lovers and Friends at the thrift, and I was very excited. They wanted $5.99 for this, and this is already photographed and listed, and it is a mini dress. Very deep V in the front. It's so charming print, like tropical print. These sell very well, it looks like, on Poshmark. And so this is a medium. This is a bread and butter piece, Catherine's. It's a 2X. And I thought that this was such a beautiful, sophisticated, look at the embroidery on this. It's shiny and black, so pretty. And I thought that this was such a beautiful career blouse. I just thought this was so pretty, and I think I marked it at $30. It's no special material, but with it being plus size, I was happy to find it, and I spent $2.99 on it. This one I loved finding. I was a little sad because the size tag was missing, so I'm hoping and praying that I did all the correct measurements. I referenced the Soft Surroundings website for their size chart. I knew it was a plus size, but I wasn't sure. It is a 1X according to the measurements. And so look at how beautiful this is. It is sheer. I don't know if I can show that. It is sheer, but it's embroidered. It's kind of a whimsigoth feel to it. It's so stunning. And so again, the fact that it was a plus size and it's got all the factors. If it was just black, I would have left it. The embroidery pushed it up to the next level, and I spent $3.99 on this. The next one's another vintage, and this is something that I thought hit the whimsigoth retro. This is Beluga, San Francisco, and I actually got a little history lesson when I was looking this up. So this top, first of all, is an extra large. It's iridescent, as you can see. It's got kind of a purplish red and teal kind of thing going on. This was a specific style, maybe into the 90s, I can't remember. Beluga, their thing was to make these crinkle styled blouses. The ones that are sold on eBay and Poshmark are ones that are more simple colors. I just thought it was so unique. So this was $5.99. That is it for this haul. Thank you for joining me. If you like the style video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.